All right, we are back. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We had our stream computer freeze on us.
It happens.
It happens.
Technology's hard.
Live
sometimes.
media is difficult, but we are back. There's 4:39 left in the third quarter. Katy's up 34-0, but Cedar Hill is knocking on the door for the first time. They've got a second down from the 4-yard line, trying to get something.
Yeah, it's important right here. You want to have some positive in this game. If you can get in the end zone right now, that'll be big for that the team and the kids. But
Have to throw the way.
Another play that just
running sideways ain't
that was
gonna
a
get
great.
it done.
Yeah.
We missed it when we were gone, but there was a hold on. He's got something. I think he's got something in his hand. Yeah. That was a fake punt that got him down into this position. Backed up. Cedar Hill went for a punt fake, a run, and it was at least a 50-yard run. It was a good play, and they need to make something happen. And at this point, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, if this was me, I'm coaching, and I don't know anything, but I would say this is absolutely 4-down territory. I mean, I'm not just going to kick a field goal here.
All day. And this is what
touchdown.
I mean.
Touchdown.
You have to, you're not kicking a field goal in
You
this
gotta come away with
situation.
something.
Yeah, you're going for it. I mean, you got to get something. So
Right there, Caden Salter goes in. Easy touchdown run for him, untouched up the middle, and I mean they've scored. They're on the board for the first time. Still a really, really long road to climb, but on the board for the first time.
It's a positive. That's right. Positive.
Now it goes to the defense. Now it goes to, can you stop that vicious?
you need Katy to
rushing
go
attack.
3 and out a couple times, and you got to score.
Yeah.
You need some luck. You need some of the stuff that Katy's been able to do.
Right.
Maybe
A turnover too,
because time is a factor.
right.
Because
especially when you're down 4 scores. I mean,
Right. Right. Now I'm saying that it's impossible, but Lady Luck better start being on their side.
Yep.
Whenever I think of comebacks, again, being a biased Baylor fan, I was thinking of the Baylor TCU game, the 61-58 one.
Heck yeah, man. That was
what
awesome.
it came to. It's a little bit, Baylor had that really explosive offense during the Browse era, but literally all they needed was just 2 stops. And then the offense was able to score, and then at that point it's anybody's ball game once it's tied. So I haven't seen that as explosive offense from Cedar Hill, especially today with their running back being out. So, but the mindset's kind of the same. Hey, if we can just get 2 3 and outs, then if the offense goes and scores, you're back in the ball game. But
right.
4:30 left in the game, you're down 4 scores.
4-3 left in the third.
In the third, sorry. It's a tough hill to climb. It's not impossible, but it's a tough hill to climb.
Well, it goes back to the defense. I mean, the offense finally got one, and they did stop, Katy on that last possession. If I'm not mistaken, they did, or they didn't. I don't remember.
Last possession, no.
No, they ain't stopped. Yeah.
Well, trying the onside kick again.
Yeah.
But forced the field goal.
Yes.
I mean, didn't allow a touchdown.
See, I'm probably not going onside kick here.
Right.
Because you have plenty of time. I'm
you
trying
want
to
to play the field position.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not the field
Now
position
you just
game.
shorten the field in
Yeah,
half
and they're ready
and-
for it now, so it kind of loses the element of surprise a
Right.
little bit. But again, I get it. I'm a scaredy cat, and I tend to go by the book sometimes. Like, hey, what's the book say? The book says to kick it deep. All right, let's kick it deep.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I guess to be fair, you try the onside kick because you've got to play defense either way. You've got to get a 3 and out or some sort of quick stop to even have a chance. So
Right.
you try and see if you can get that onside kick.
oh,
in.
you can't give up the pitch
First
like
down,
this.
toss.
Big first down run.
Yep.
Katie's just doing what they want.
Yep.
They're not doing a great job of forcing the ball defensively, and that's why they're able to get the edge on them. So they're doing a great job of mixing it up, hitting them inside, hitting them outside. You got the fullback right there doing a great job. Obviously that running back can go, or he wouldn't be playing for Katy. So they're just manhandling these guys right now.
Yep.
I don't really think Cedar Hill has an answer for him at all.
No, certainly not on defense. Hadn't seemed like it.
Nope.
I'm sending one out, Josh.
Uh-oh.
the
Tight
fake
ends
toss.
wide open.
Action.
Yeah.
Well, overthrows them.
Overthrows. Yeah. But again, second and 10. Hey, just see Hill
Right.
put it together right now, get him a third down, and you got a shot. Again, Katy's mindset is, keep running the ball, keep protecting the football. We haven't had a turnover yet by Katy. Keep protecting the football.
Right. They've played very and not a ton of penalties either. Seems to be a very sound game by Katy.
They look like they've been here before, right?
Yeah.
You know, and really, to be honest with you, none of those kids have been here before. Only the coaches.
But it's the coach. But like you said, instilling that culture, and that Katy culture has been there forever. You know, for 20, 30 years, they've had this culture of, hey, we're a dominant team, and we're going to go and we're going to dominate, and that just goes down through the junior high and middle school levels. And like you guys said, these kids want to grow up. They grow up wanting to be Katy Tigers, and so they get to this opportunity and. They act like they've been there before, even though they haven't.
There's a lot of Katy pride, too. I mean, Katy high school pride, not just in football. I mean, you got the softball team. Coach Hack and them do a great job. They won a state championship 2 years, in a row, or have run it the last couple of years.
I mean, the volleyball team went pretty far this year.
Volleyball team, I mean, they do a great job athletic program-wise, or getting there, even though they've been split and things have happened, but they're still able to maintain. So, I mean.
Culture of success, culture of champions.
Yep.
So it looks like we got a 4th down here from Katy.
Nah, they're going
Cedar
for it.
Hill.
Yeah,
They got to go for it.
Trying to slow them down as much as they can.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of waggle or bootleg to get that tight end out in the flat again like they did before. I'd be calling a timeout.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Or just go do what you've been doing.
Or kick a field goal.
Just hit that ball downhill. Get it downhill.
Yeah, I think if it's me, I'm not even thinking field goal, even kind of. And they've shown little ability to stop the run. Mm-hmm. They're not facing a terribly long 4th down. So, I mean, put the ball in the hands of your best athletes and trust them to get the job done.
Yep.
2012. Okay.
Oh, so Katy did beat them. I had
I
that wrong.
missed
Really.
that.
Yeah, 13 is when they Cedar Hill got it. So back to back.
That's Coach McGuire and them right there, I believe, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. This is the
So
year.
it's 3 years in a row.
Yep.
Oh, go play.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to need some of those plays again. Like
Yes.
that. He got to stick the landing, though. I said, if you can't, don't do the play if you can't handle celebration.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Should we be a little more lenient on celebrations? Let the guys have some fun?
That's good.
Knock it on in there.
I think they need to celebrate. I don't mind people celebrating with their team.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's the
I
way
don't
you
want
do
to
it.
do the individual type stuff, but I don't mind the guys having a little fun.
Right.
I mean, they're doing it right now anyway without getting. They're just telling them to get off. I don't like the helmet coming off, obviously, or anything like that.
There's right there. 2,000 state championships have been in Division II.
Yep.
2,000.
Old school 5A Division II, 5A D2 used to be that too, So
2000, 2003, 2007, 2008, 2012, and 15 all been in Division II.
Going for their and very likely to win their 9th state title today.
Impressive.
Very impressive. I mean, joining the ranks. Of,
you start thinking about that kind of stuff. Like, which one do you wear? Do you wear the first one? Do you wear do you give the middle rings any love? Or do you just go with the newest and the best and the brightest? I'm wondering. That's a question I'm gonna have to ask. Which one do you wear?
We'll ask you that question here in 20 years when you have that many.
Yeah, probably that guy over there first. I'll go work for him one day. But you know what I'm saying? Like, which one do you wear? So, pretty awesome.
Yeah, since it's a little slower breaking the action. I was thinking about this actually this morning, coaches, and I wanted to circle back on a conversation from yesterday, or I can't remember if it was yesterday or not, but kids playing all-around athletes, because we were talking about Fort Bend Marshall having a great track program. The kids that come through your football program, I think we can all be in agreement that you want kids to be well-rounded, especially elementary, junior high. Play all the sports that you can, be exposed to everything. How about in high school, though? Because I don't know if you want them involved in your strength and conditioning programs, or do you want them running track? Do you want them playing basketball? What are y'all's thoughts on athletes playing other sports in high school?
I mean, I'm 100% for it. You want them to play other sports. You want them to be other competitive environments. You don't want just one sport, one focus. You want them to be able to, and it's not just about wanting them to play football and only football so they can go through all-season program. You want them to be in competitive situations, play multiple sports. As you look at the majority of kids that sign Division I scholarships, they're playing multiple sports. I think there was a graphic saying Alabama, how many Alabama athletes play other sports. And Urban Meyer at one point, I remember saying if you're not a two-sport athlete, they don't recruit you. You know, it's really important.
Right.
Yeah, you want these guys to have as much competition as possible and many opportunities to learn and grow. You know?
Yeah, and stay competitive. You know, I think football's such a hard sport. You want them to compete in other sports and use different muscles, learn different strategies. You want to see them compete. Like, I love guys that go football track, football wrestling, football basketball. You know, having Deuce Fathery playing football, basketball. Yes, we have to be a little bit unselfish as coaches and give up some time in our off season. Like, it's not the end all be all.
Right.
But those guys that do have the ability to do that, you know, in our track program or all that stuff, you want them. They have to.
Receiver.
They got to do extra stuff, man. That's why you're a better athlete. Just do extra stuff.
Right.
So,
And you learn.
I think it's important. You only have a small portion of your life that you're able to even do that.
Right. Sure.
Because
Once
you
you
know,
get to the college level, that's pretty much gone.
right. My coaches coach 2 sports, majority of them. So I mean, why not have the kids play? Right. So you know, if you make the basketball team, great. If you make the baseball team in Foster, hey man, more power to you. If you're a wrestler, good job, because everybody always made the track team anyway. You know, so you're already a 2-sport, you know, guy. So we'll wear out that JV track meet.
I think that shows too. It shows another level of discipline as well. You know, they have the ability to, you know, have 2 sets of coaches, have 2 sets of practices, have 2 sets of, okay, I got to remember this for football, I got to remember this for wrestling, for track, for whatever it is.
It keeps them active, and it's proven that as long as they stay active in the school, and that they're more willing to come to school and get better grades because they have to stay eligible to play that sport. Right. You know, and you want them to do that. I mean, I think any coach that says a kid needs to be a 1-sport athlete does that kid a disservice.
Right. That's not acceptable.
Hope my daughter Ella is listening to that. So
I like how you said keep them competitive. There's something about being in competitive situations, how you handle pressure in different. I mean, because the pressure on the basketball court is different than the pressure on the football field.
It's a lot to go through, and you know, you just want them to continue to grow, continue to be learn how to be a great teammate. You know, be in multiple locker rooms and be able to get along with people. I mean, that's life right there. Be able to get along with your coworkers.
You know, even like basketball coaches will tell you they can't wait for some of the football guys to get off the grass and come play basketball because the level of physicality and mental toughness picks up when the football guys show up. And same in baseball. It's just a different mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So. You know, baseball is nothing but organized rest, right? No, I'm just kidding. You know, hey, line up here, hit this ball, go stand back in line. You know? But, you know, just a different mentality.
If that's your opinion on baseball, I don't want to hear it on golf. That's not.
No, golf is what they call it. Golf is a good walk spoiled,
that's
right?
That's nap time. I
got to give away all my clubs and play left-handed. I'm so terrible, you know?
Salter again scrambling for the touchdown.
I got a mean hand wedge and foot wedge, though.
If Cedar Hill could have done this in the first half, I mean, that would have been a different ball.
Again, the formula stays the same. Spread them out, run the quarterback.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, and on this drive, they weren't afraid to take those short passes. They weren't constantly trying to force the ball downfield. They were looking to those guys that were 5 yards downfield and let them get the ball and then try to make a play.
Right.
7-14.
Now you go to fourth quarter with a little bit of momentum and just, hey, let's finish this game.
It's certainly not impossible, but it's still not seeming too likely. 23-point deficit.
He ain't too happy, I promise you that. I know I'd probably be going crazy, I ain't gonna lie.
I've heard, so maybe you could answer this. I've heard, especially I had heard from people that, like, you know, coaches like Nick Saban are a lot, maybe tougher is not the right word, but, you know, a lot more amped with their players when they have a big lead as opposed to when they're down a lot. that coaches when their team is down, they're more likely to be very positive and upbeat, and if their team's up a lot, they're stressing the little things and trying to make sure that you still stick to your fundamentals.
Yeah, of course. I think a little bit is that because you don't want them to relax,
right?
Because the other team is still playing hard and trying to come back. So I think that's the biggest fear of getting a lead and then you let it slip, which has happened quite a few times to myself. You know what I mean? So, and the other team is playing hard too.
Right.
When you're losing, you want to show that you want your team to fight and claw back and do whatever we can and show that fight. And it's easy to kind of sit back on your laurels a little bit when you're winning big and kind of everybody's joking around. You you got to keep the focus, keep the strategy going, and don't let up, because man, the football gods, man, they will rip it from you quickly, right? And so you got to keep doing the little things that are going to get you that win.
Yeah, when you're up big, you want to keep that thumb on them. You want to keep that focus. You don't want them to relax and yes, give them that opportunity to come back. But then when you're down, you don't want to show panic. You want to show that focus and have the opportunity to come back. See here, another onside kick.
Trying to do some sort of trickeration.
I mean, that's pretty good little onside kick.
That was very good.
I'm not going to call coaches out whatever they do, but I would have probably kicked it deep again on that one.
Right.
But
just because they expect it. They
Right.
expect you to do the onside kick. It lowers the chance of expectedness.
if you don't get it, you get him a short field.
Right.
And
two, if you kick it deep, you have to stop them anyways.
Right.
And if you kick them deep and stop them, then you're getting better field position.
there you go. But they haven't done any of that.
Right.
So, I mean, they're just trying to reach for points now. I get it.
Right.
You do love to see the coaches still coaching hard.
Absolutely.
From the kicker to the quarterback to everybody on the team.
Oh,
Those
I
guys
don't
are
think
still
there's not a
going.
give up coach or player on that team, on that field right now. Nobody's giving up,
Absolutely.
They're still keeping hope alive right now.
It's Dalton Johnson for Katy on the recover there. He's headed to Arizona next year, I believe.
Sure.
Unless anything changed. I don't know if it changed after Kevin Sumlin left. See,
We have a player there, Christian Young, that's playing in Arizona. I think he's going to enjoy the new guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think always a fresh breath sometimes,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Kevin Sumlin. I think he's a heck of a coach. So, not sure what happened there, but I think Arizona get it turned around.
I tell you what, I love Don Brown as their defensive coordinator.
Yes,
He's
sir.
a tremendous coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even back when he was at Boston College before he went to Michigan, had number one defense in the country at Boston College.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's got
Yeah, schematically, they do a great job.
yeah.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. Katy Tigers up 37-14, putting on a show so far. I mean, Cedar Hill is showing that fight that they got right here. But Katy, they're getting the turnovers. They've really held Cedar Hill's offense in check. So, been a great game for Katy so far.
Yeah, like we said, everything you want if you're Katy right now.
Yeah.
Exactly what they want out of the game.
That's the Katy blueprint. They again play great defense, and of course they don't like that touchdown I've just scored on them. But just getting control the line of scrimmage, control the clock, be physical, run the football, and that's their blueprint.
Yeah. Game plan was specific and looked like they executed well.
Yeah.
So, Coach Williams, one player that I really enjoyed watching who was on your team a couple years ago, Malik Hornsby.
Yes.
You mentioned him earlier. How's he doing over at Arkansas? Especially under the KB offense, it seems like he would be able to thrive.
Yeah, he's doing a good job over there. He's excited to be there. Kendall Browse was recruiting him for years, even when he was at Florida State. So they had a great relationship. Even when he was at Houston, when Malik was a sophomore, they recruited him. So he's excited to play into that system. He believes it fits him very well. And this year he sat while Felipe Franks was the quarterback this year. And I'm not sure if he's declared for the NFL or not, but hopefully Malik could be the next guy up and go in there and compete and just let his ability show. He definitely has a great ability. I mean, he's got great size, and a lot of people, you look at him run track. Yeah, he's fast. He can run a 10-7 100. But he's also a pocket passer who can throw every throw on the field. He doesn't want to be known as an athlete just running around out there throwing the ball. No, he's a quarterback first that can have the ability to run the ball as well.
Right.
He's a quarterback that's an athlete rather than an athlete that's a quarterback.
Right.
That's a stark difference.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. So
I'm excited to watch him play because I'm a big fan of the Browse family and what they do offensively. It's fun to watch, So
they put up points wherever they are. They put up points.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super creative.
Yeah. And Arkansas did a good job this year coming out. I don't know if anybody expected them to do so well, but they won quite a few games and then lost some close ones that they were right there.
A lot of very close.
I think a lot of people picked them not to win a game this year to start the season. I was probably in that camp.
And they've got nothing but momentum
That's
moving into next year.
That's right.
I really like Sam Pittman, too, like their head coach.
Yes.
When he was the O-line coach at Georgia, and he'd come down and recruit Deuce and everybody, Fathery. He walked in my office, and he's like, Deuce and them were about to go out and work out, and he looked at Deuce and he goes, "Son, you're just going to extend my career by about 6-7 years." He's like, "God, how do I get that young man?" He's like, "God, coach, God, what grade is it?"
I'll say this just to speak on that, and I'm biased. I'm an Aggie, but man, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen an athlete his size. He's a giant.
Yeah, he's special.
And that's all. That's all genetics. You can't teach that height.
Yeah. Thank God for his mom genetics. No, his dad's like 6'5".
Yeah.
But Deuce is a special. We call him a freak. Because he's 6'8", 300 plus pounds, can bend and move like he's a guard, like a point guard. He
doesn't look like a 300-pound
guy.
No,
he doesn't.
No. And he's got such a high ceiling. I just can't wait to see how he develops at A&M. And then, he could probably play basketball for him. I don't think he will, but he'll definitely be the first pick of the O-line, D-line basketball game at lunch. And
I'll say I don't want to see him on the intramural court.
No.
Basketball.
Yeah,
no.
Play a bunch of the football guys there, and I'd be like, I'm out of place.
He's special.
I don't want to play.
He's special.
I don't know if there's a sport I'm going to name that I want to play against him.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
And he's got a lot of upside, and he's gonna make himself and his family really happy in a few years. So if things go right,
That's certainly the hope.
Yeah.
As coaches, is it tough when you have a Ruben Father-Tree, Cody Jackson, or Devon Malik, where they got offers from pretty much anybody in the country?
Yeah.
They almost have the pick of the litter. Is it hard to, as your coach, to kind of guide them? Because I feel like there's some, maybe kids.
Big gas.
Touchdown, Katy. Touchdown.
Is it hard to guide him?
Well, yeah, because I feel like sometimes you either want to play for like an Oklahoma or Texas, but maybe that's not the right scheme for a player like that. Is it?
What's important is
how
want
do you
them.
manage that?
You want them to play in the right scheme that's going to fit them. You feel it's going to fit them well. You have a player like Devon Achane. You maybe not necessarily want him to go to a power running game. But he's so flexible. He can play running back. He can go on the slide. He can do so many different things. You want him to play for a creative mind who can do and take advantage of all his ability and what the things he can do. And so you help out wherever it's possible. You have guys like Malik and Devon had. They had strong support system. They had strong tight inner circle, which I like. They didn't have. It wasn't everybody talking to them. They kept it real small and exactly because you got a lot of people who want to give information and want to do other stuff. They had a small inner circle and they did a great job. They picked two great schools and. It was working out. I think it's going to work out well for both of them.
Yeah, it really comes down to the family making the decision and the kid because the kids know what they want to do. They know if that's a good fit for them or not. Sometimes it's not necessarily the logo that gets them. They want to go to a place where they can play early and fit. And did they have a relationship with the coaches or not? Because you can say all you want, like you commit to the school, but those kids do commit to coaches, right? They form a relationship with them. Right. It comes down to the family. I tell the players all the time that I don't care where they go, to be honest.
Right.
I'm a fan of them. Right. So wherever they go, I'm going to rep their jersey and watch their game. Right. So don't pick because you think I like the school or go because that's where you want to go. I always ask them too, can you see yourself there outside of football season?
Right.
Right? And are you going to go to basketball games? Are you going to be there? Do you want to be there? What happens when football's not there?
Right.
Yeah. Do you
the reality of the coach who recruited them is probably not going to be the same coach who's there when they graduate.
Numbers saying it's not going to happen.
Yeah, a lot.
And so you just got to know if that's the right fit or not. Like for instance, CeeDee Lamb. He was committed to OU and then decommitted, but OU was always the one. He just wanted to go through the recruiting process, and it blew up, right?
Right.
And so you're like, oh man, and same with Deuce. He had a heck of a recruiting process, but There you go. But it's like
chippy.
Everybody wants to be recruited until it's recruiting time to make a decision. To be honest with you,
Right.
And then they don't want to tell them no. They don't know where to go, and and the recruiters can be salesmen too, man. They gonna make you buy that used car that you don't need, and they gonna commit, and then you're like, So
I think it's important what you said, having a tight inner circle, because at the end of the day, still 17, 18-year-old kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know a lot more now than when I did when I was 17 years old.
Right.
And so, surrounding yourself with people who support you and will give you good advice, who are wise, I think that's the best way to go.
And they truly have your best interest in mind, not
Right.
theirs.
Yes.
You have to have the best situation. Interception,
no.
touchdown, Katy. Wow.
he just threw it right to him
Defensive
on the
lineman.
screen. Did you see it?
You
First of all, he had it was a bot snap because
Yes.
the center snapped it early.
Yep.
I feel you, Coach Lane. I feel you, brother. I feel you.
That's Cal Varner on
Been
the
there.
interception.
That's one of those ones where you kind of just look at everybody and be like,
right. This
to
ain't
me,
happening today.
I laugh to really ease the tension. I'm just I thought so. I start putting up my stuff. When my headset come down, y'all might as well come on down from the box. Like, come on, man.
What a
what a
great
play.
play. Yes.
You don't see, defensive linemen making pick sixes all too often.
If he didn't intercept it, the guy behind him was going to, because the linebacker stepped right in front of the running back also.
What a heck of a play by 91, though.
Yeah, that was a great play. 46 was right there to pick it too. So
Oh,
that wasn't going to end up well for Cedar Hill
no,
anyway.
it was not.
That guy's recruiting just blew up. Oh, my God, he's a 2024, So,
Wow.
good 50 point, 51
all
to
of a sudden,
14.
51-14, still 10 minutes to play.
You guys
I hate it
wanna-
for that kid.
You guys want to repeat your picks again for this game? I'm just,
One more time.
Stop picking. Who do you guys got in the late game?
right. Change the subject.
Westlake.
We can.
All right, Westlake. I picked Westlake.
Westlake. Westlake's defense is for real.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, that quarterback, I really like that
Look,
quarterback.
I'm telling you, if you two guys are sitting in here and you're picking one team together, that's the team I'm
Yeah, we'll go
sticking
Westlake.
with.
We'll go Westlake.
I'm sticking with Westlake then. I'm not changing.
Like Cal Varner signed with Rice out of Katy there. So
you
it's
love
Rice
that.
next year.
We have a linebacker, Kenny Seymour, going to Rice this year as well, and that's so special. You have a young man who's athletically gifted, but also can go and excel at Rice. That's
we have one just graduated, Garrett Grammer, but we actually have 3 kids at Rice from Foster.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Garrett Grammer, Cameron Valentine, and Isaiah Richardson.
Nice.
I think it might be the only one in the country that has
nice.
3 kids at Rice.
And you mentioned, life outside the football field. Teams like Rice, and you mentioned Stanford earlier. These places where you can get a phenomenal education, and
the U.S. Coast Guard Academy.
The U.S. Coast Guard Academy, right? These places where you can go and you can get your school paid for, and you can still play ball. I mean, these kids love to play, and but they can also just get a phenomenal education, and that just shows kind of what a special tool football can be. That looked like a fair catch.
Yeah.
Looked
If it
like
was,
he signaled.
it's a penalty because he took a running.
Yeah,
So.
it looked like he signaled for it, but no flagging.
Wow, how quickly the game get out of hand. 51,
Yeah.
That score 51-14.
It's like last night's game now.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think this is? Because we talk about it is so hard to get to this game. You have to have Lady Luck on your side and all the other things.
Yeah.
That yesterday's games, now this game, have all been blowouts. I mean, these are 2 of the best teams at the 6A 2A level. Like, why do you think this happens and we're not getting the nail biters?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, sometimes you have teams they're just better. No matter when you play next week again, it might be the same score. It's just great programs, and both these programs both of them have state championships. But just today and this day, Katy is ready. Katy is prepared. Their game plan is solid, and they're playing the game. I mean, again, you couldn't script it any better than this.
That is correct. And I think there needs to be an independent auditor on some people's numbers when they turn in for UIL realignment. Good Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not calling anybody as cheating, but, man, like, you can pencil with whatever you want, evidently, to get down, to get what you want, So, I don't know. I mean, hats off to Katy for having a great game plan, being a great program. Same with Cedar Hill, and then today was Katy's day.
Yeah.
The previous games have been good. I thought the 4A down was good. The 5A's games have not been that great, and a lot of it is the disparity from some of the teams. Like Cedar Hill is a Cedar Hill ISD. Right? They're the only one-horse town in the Dallas area. Right? You have Katy ISD who has 12 schools.
Yeah.
What if it was just Katy High School?
Right.
Right? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
so like Cedar Park, you know, and then they're in the Leander School District, and you got Denton Ryan, who has 3. You know, they're multi-school districts, so you're seeing a trend.
We got
Throw
a trick
pass
play here
back
from
to the
Cedar
quarterback,
Hill,
but
and
ain't
it
happening.
did not work.
You know,
no.
so I mean, it's
Nothing
it's
going
just
right now.
you know, good for us in Houston and be able to get us one because you know they're the Lone Ranger. You know,
They were.
Right.
They were.
But they
I mean,
sure.
you see the 2 teams, North Shore and Duncanville, last 2 state championship. Both those powerhouses were playing, and neither one of them makes it back. You know,
Right.
But it does tell you about the teams that beat them. You know, South Lake Carroll and Austin Westlake are 2 quality programs, and played 2 great games last week to beat them and get to the state game.
We've got one more chance for a great game tonight, and we are hoping
Chomping at the bit.
for.
man, these guys aren't even ready to
They
play.
weren't even set. Yeah.
Oh,
So we got Coach McDowell's pick. Coach Williams, how about you?
Oh, I definitely agree. Austin Westlake, yeah,
Okay.
I think they'll take care. I think the father will, you know, the master will take care of the pupil today.
Have a few
And,
tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, he's had such a great career and won at several different places, different schools. Does a great job over there, and I think Austin Westlake.
and how cool is that for high school football here in Texas? We get a father playing against his son who he coached
and won a state championship with.
for a state championship against Westlake.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, the storylines write themselves for this evening, and we'll be back streaming that one.
We'll be back tonight, everybody.
Hopefully no issues on that one.
Well, I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but I got to roll. So I know.
So sad, but thanks for showing up.
Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate having you.
No, it was a blast,
pleasure,
man.
Coach.
And we came back, and I'm glad, that we did, and I've enjoyed spending time with you guys. And I don't want to speak for Coach Williams. I'm pretty sure he would say anytime you guys want us back, we'll be back.
Anytime.
Well, hopefully we can get you back for a better game next time.
Well, you know what? It's not the game, it's the company. man.
Oh,
We made the
thank
game.
you so
That's it.
much.
Company.
Thank you
As
so
much
much.
as we would love to have y'all on next year, hopefully we'll be watching y'all in the state
Yeah,
championship
I would
next
prefer
year.
that.
Absolutely.
And I'd
we
love to
would
do
too.
a game
We
recap.
would too. There we
We're
go.
gonna go Monday.
That's
We'll
right.
first
Game
state
recap.
trophies.
That's
We'll do a
right.
There we
recap.
go.
Yes, absolutely.
That sounds like
sir.
a plan. Well, Coach,
Hey, man.
thank you so
guys.
much for coming.
Yes, sir.
we really appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Coach.
All right, guys. Y'all be safe.
All right.
Thanks,
my
Coach.
partner, Mick Williams, other half of Mick Williams.
You come.
it's just the Williams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Justin the camera. We're
Perfect.
Justin the camera.
Thanks, Coach. Drive safe.
Yes, sir. I didn't realize it was an hour of grandparents. Cody Jackson's graduation.
There you go.
So,
Well, tell him congratulations from everybody at VYPE.
you got
Yes.
it, man.
All right.
Thank y'all, man.
We'll talk to you, bro. I'll give you a call. It's my man right there.
Coach Shaun
sir.
McDowell, Foster High School. And do you wish you played them every year?
No.
Or no?
Not at all. Not at all. No, actually, it would be a great game. You know, he does such a great job over there and had a lot of success. Before he got there, they were, you know, a little down program-wise, but immediate turnaround, and ever since he's been there, they've been definitely a team to be reckoned with.
It's great that we have. I mean, I'm sure that people in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio would say the same. But I feel like we are just, spoiled with
Yes.
great coaching talent here in the city.
Yes.
Even at the high school level, I think we've got great coaches. Throughout the colleges here, we've got great coaches at the NFL level with the Texans, and I mean, but even all the way down to the high school level, great coaches here in the city of Houston to teach football to kids. So I think that's just awesome. And like you guys said earlier, you'll have a great relationship, and I'm
Sure.
sure you have that relationship with other coaches in the area. Like that's great that there's this fraternity of coaches that love to compete against one another, but there's definitely friendships off the field. That's good to see.
It really is, and there are definitely friendships there, and also it's opportunities for us to grow. I mean, we don't like to just get together and hang out. We also like to we love to talk football. We
Right.
love to get together, and
Right.
Shaun's come to Marshall and in the off season, and we've got on the board and talk football and different perspectives and different situations of handle situations. So a lot. We said it earlier. A lot of what we know is what we learn from other people. We
Right.
steal from other people, and
You're right.
and that's a big part of it because the game is evolving every year. So you got to figure out. You have to evolve with it because if you're trying to stay the same, it's going to leave you behind.
Right.
Yeah, like you don't see teams running the wishbone offense anymore.
No.
Like you just got to get innovative
You
and
know.
bounce ideas off each other. So
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, it's a great game. You know, we love the game of football. I've been playing football since I was 9 years old, and I always knew, for whatever reason, I remember when 9 years old thinking about being a coach and thinking about a program I want to run or the plays I want to run, and I really feel that this is why I'm here. Is what I do best and what I do well, and again, I look forward to continuing to coach and make a difference to young men in their lives. I really do.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know we're the media. Matt and Josh are definitely more the reporters. We're in it, but I gotta say, I think the M Block is definitely one of the most recognizable brands in Houston,
in the city. Absolutely.
When people see you got Marshall on the schedule, they're like, we got to be ready to play because we know they're going to be ready to play. How's the future looking?
Future looks well. I mean, there's so much pride in just what you said, that M Block and the culture we built there, and it was not like that 11 years ago. When I first got the job, January 17, 2010, it was not than
and so almost your anniversary.
Yes, almost tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yes.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. I take it with so much pride because I interviewed for a lot of jobs, and I was fortunate to get this job. Alonzo Reynolds was the principal, and Keith Kilgore was the athletic director that hired me. And I've not looked for another job. I love being at Marshall. It's such a great place, such a great community. And these kids deserve to have success as well. And we're so much pride in building the MBOC and building what it is right now. And as far as the future, again, like I mentioned yesterday, we had 13 sophomores who not only were on varsity but started and played at various positions all year. And so we have a great senior class this year. They're graduating, and we feel bad that we didn't get to their final goal of what they wanted to do, but Marshall's not going to be done. And M Block's going to be back next year, better than ever, strong as ever, and hungry as ever. We have a goal, an ultimate goal, and we're going to keep fighting for that thing. And we say it a lot around our place, and we love the quote by the great Kobe Bryant. Job's not done yet. Job's not done.
The late great Kobe Bryant.
That's right.
I've heard it said, the goal is always try to win the last game of the year.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's I have a feeling that M Block.
They're coming.
They're coming.
Watch out.
I think you're going to be hosting the trophy here at some point. I think Coach McDowell, Foster, they got a really great chance of doing that as well. Absolutely. I mean, there's so many good high school football programs in the city of Houston, really just in the state of Texas. I mean, there's a reason why
it's tough.
It's known for it. It's tough, but man, it just makes you want to keep getting better, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You want to get better, and you want to get better for your kids. It's you want to be in a situation where you're putting your kids in a position to be successful. And you look back at games, and you're always trying to correct. What could I have done better? In this situation, could I have play a different coverage or run a different play so our kids can be successful? Because we live this thing right with the kids, and we've had our high school experience as coaches. Now we want to make it the best for these young men and growing up and again reaching their goals. So
I love it. I didn't have the opportunity to play high school football, but I kind of wish I did.
It's
I really did.
It's easy to say that when you guys talk.
Hindsight 2020.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think we would both say we love football.
Absolutely.
I think when you get to your guys' level, there's just a different. It's just different. There's a different passion. There's another level of joy in the game, and it's infectious. Like being around you guys for the last couple of days, getting to watch ball with you has been, just a real treat.
It's fun.
It's been real pleasure.
And just like you saw on the chat today, our wives live this with us, our families live this with
Absolutely.
us. It's not just me out there coaching. This is everybody. This is a commitment, our whole family commitment to this, and again, it's just as close as college football as you can get. I mean, the same systems, the same schemes, the same fundamentals they're running in college we're doing here on the high school level and playing in amazing stadiums.
Yeah.
Right.
Coaching great athletes.
And sadly not this year, but normally would be playing in front of tens of thousands
Absolutely.
of people.
Absolutely.
I mean, if this was norm, there'd be 50,000 people there waiting to watch this game.
There's something very, very, very special about high school football in Texas. And again, me not being from Texas, but being here now for 17 years, I'll be the first one to say it's different here. It's different. It means more. It does. So I'm very proud to be a Texas high school football coach. So, but again, this is the game winds down right now. About 4 minutes to go in the game in the fourth quarter. Cedar Hill. Yeah, it was not the day they wanted to have. It was not the game they wanted to have. But again, they made it there. They beat a lot of good teams to get to this place. And
great season.
Yes, they can be proud of this game. Not just be proud of what they've accomplished this year for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. You can definitely hold your head up at the end of the day, being like, for those underclassmen though, for Cedar Hill, you're getting so close to the holy grail of Texas high school football. Yeah. I bet you those guys are just going to come back next year and be more hungry.
We saw that with Denton Ryan. I mean, when they lost to Shadow Creek, they said, hey, next year it's state or bust, and that's exactly what they did.
It was like that your first year when you made it to state. Yes. That's what motivated y'all to get back.
It did. And when we got there the second time, I mean, it was, like I said, it was a tough loss we had, but those guys fought all the way to the end. And then we went down, ended up losing by 3 points, but they gave it everything they got.
But everybody on this team who's not a senior, everybody who's coming back next year, they've now been here, done that.
Yes.
I mean, they all have the experience of playing on the biggest stage in high school football here in Texas, and they're going to be ready. They're going to come back next year, and they're going to be hungry for more. And all that to say, take nothing away from what Katy has done. They have played Katy high school football, and we touched on this earlier. The brand of football that they play, you don't normally associate with scoring 51 points.
It's not flashy.
That's right.
You don't normally associate with 51 points, but they scored 51 points, and they did it with their brand, running the ball with power and playing fantastic defense.
Yeah, this comment says Katy defense has scored as many points as the Cedar Hill offense. Thank you, I'm Sparky, for that comment. No, for real. I mean, you saw that great play by Cal Varner, the D end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've played great defense today. Haven't allowed a lot of explosive plays. They've taken the ball away. They've played very sound, disciplined football. Not a lot of penalties. Yeah. And then they did. I don't want to take anything away from them, but they did get a little bit of that luck. They got some bounces that went their way.
What you need.
Yes.
And they just, but that was only made bigger by the fact that their offense was so dominant. Their defense was so dominant in the game. So
that's what they do. This is a Katy blueprint,
right?
And just like you're saying, Cedar Hill will be here next year possibly as well. Have something to go. And with these juniors and sophomores on Katy's roster, hey, they want to get that championship as seniors and go out the right way as well themselves. So Katy's not going anywhere, and they've shown it. This is what number of state championships in the 2000s alone is just so tremendous.
Yeah, being our 9th overall, which is just
unbelievable,
just absolutely crazy. Puts them
in second.
In second.
Yes.
Behind only Alito.
Because Alito's got 10.
Yeah.
Then you got South Lake Carroll going
for 9 tonight as well. Yeah.
Tonight. They were showing highlights earlier of, was that 2004 South Lake Carroll versus Katy? 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Man, he has some shaggy hair back in the day. He looks a little cleaner now.
A little different, right. Yeah. Right. But he's still playing football in the stadium, huh?
Wow, yeah.
For the Cowboys.
That is true. Wow, I hadn't thought about that. Yep.
That's right. Coach Lynn does, again, a great job as a coach, a great example for his players at Cedar Hill. Like I said, they earn the right to be here. They can hold their head up high.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a very hard road to get to the state championship, and they came and fought, and they couldn't get the job done today, but maybe next year or somewhere down the line in the future.
Absolutely.
There you go, Renee Zellweger, Katy Tiger.
Heyo.
Yeah.
Most famous alumni from Katy High School. So 1 minute, just over 1 minute left in the game. Another blowout, unfortunately.
We've tried.
I don't expect. Okay, Coach, you think Westlake's going to win tonight, but do you expect a blowout, or do you expect it to come down to the fourth quarter, kind of like a North Shore-ish, who can step up and make the play at the end?
I don't expect a blowout. Those, again, two great programs. I think the advantage may be Austin Westlake's defense. Everybody talks about Todd Dodge and Roddy Dodge, the explosive offenses they have and the athletic players they have on offense, but Westlake's defense is pretty stout. They don't give up many points at all, and that might be the difference in the game. I don't necessarily expect a blowout, but I look for that to be the difference in the game.
Well, we're certainly hoping for a close game here. We've watched. This is now the 5th episode of the watch along, and we have gotten some.
It is episode 6 of the 5th game. We have some stream issues. That's why
that's true. It's true.
Yes.
Sorry, Josh. Hey, shout out to Josh W, our producer here, has been crushing it all weekend and for the 4A as well. So thank you, Josh. Sometimes just computers crash.
It's just what it is. Sometimes it happens. So now less than a minute to play. Katy's gonna obviously go on to win this one, 51-14. We'll be back this evening, 7 p.m. We've got Austin Westlake and South Lake Carroll for the 6A D1 state championship. So, after this one's over, we'll probably talk a little bit post game. But feel free to come back. Please come back tonight and hang out with us while we watch that game.
I think it would be cool if you had the 5A D1 champ play the D2 champ. Like for 5A, like if you had Alito.
Oh, yes.
Play.
Yes.
Denon Ryan. I think that would be a great game. Or
right.
Katy, whoever wins
play the
this
D1
evening.
champ. Yeah,
that would be a great
game.
Like
the one true champ to all the Big 12 fans out there, or I don't. I just think that would be kind of cool.
That definitely would be. Now you just gotta propose it and see what UIL says. See if we get that done.
I'll throw in a word with UIL. No, they're gonna be like, "Who's this guy?"
Well, yeah, we are. But a lot of coaches, we are looking forward to getting back to a normal schedule next year. I mean, again, you commend these two teams. Again, I mentioned it yesterday, but navigating through COVID this year, you never dreamed that anything like this, a pandemic, would happen in your lifetime. But these guys are able to continue to play. Continue to stay healthy and be able to play for this championship game. So even more to get here as them getting here healthy.
Yeah, well, and I think too, I was one of those people who was really pretty, doubtful as to that we'd even get this far. I mean, I didn't really think we would get to a state championship. I figured, stuff would spike back up, and oh man, we're gonna have to deal with cancellations, and halfway through the season we'll probably be done. But man, I tell you what, you guys as coaches and your administrators and teachers at your schools and the kids have really bought into what they've needed to do to make this season happen. And luckily, even as we show now, the game is officially over, and Katy has won. Pretty remarkable that this was able to happen this year. And obviously, even if tonight is also a blowout, even if we have to watch a bunch of blowouts, to get to watch high school football state championships in this year has been a real pleasure.
Absolutely. There was a long time where they thought that it was going to be pushed back or not played at all. So.
Right. Yeah, I'll say because FBISD got even pushed back a little bit further than most others.
We did. We started a little bit later than everybody else, and we're fortunate to be able to play. Very fortunate and very, very thankful.
Absolutely. So as of now, I guess it's middle of January, but spring ball is still on time?
We'll see if UIO allows us to do it. Yes, we'll start in May. With us, we push it back as far as possible because of our, it's a good thing. Our track team, which is a lot of our football players will be in season, and we try to push it back as long as possible. And even with doing that, with the state championship in track being in the middle of May, we normally have those guys miss the first 2 weeks of spring football. But it's a good reason to have it, a good reason to do it, and we're proud of those guys. And
it's a good problem to have
a
good track team with a bunch of football players.
Very good problem to have.
They were breaking national records. If you ever have a chance to watch Fort Bend Marshall track, please do it because that is a treat.
Yes, it's fun.
Really is a treat.
Those guys really they like pain. Track is a painful sport, and so they do it every day in practice, and they compete every day in practice, and we're proud of those guys.
Oh man,
let's see. Oh, there we go. What a graphic up there.
Yep.
Man.
6A.
That seems like a long jog going from 1959 to 1997. Was it 40 years?
Yeah.
38 years? And then just run them off.
Yeah, their 9th championship. Just absolutely incredible. Great job.
Who was the coach before Gary Joseph at Katy?
It was Mike Johnston. Yes.
Mike Johnston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Joseph, talk about, Gary Joseph has been at Katy High School for 30 plus years. He was defensive coordinator for many years for Mike Johnston, and when Mike Johnston decided to retire, Gary Joseph stepped up and took over the position. And I mean, this is his personally as a head coach, maybe his 5th state championship as a head coach. I don't know that exact number, but it's impressive what he's done as well.
Yeah, very, very impressive. I think we're going to have some final game stats here for you in just a moment.
We're getting those from Stephen Peters, VYPE DFW writer. So everybody, if you're still watching, thank you for everybody tuning in. Go check out VYPE.com. Stephen Peters will probably have his instant reaction article up.
Very
as
soon.
Katy wins their 9th state championship. We are getting the graphic up in a second.
Just a moment.
There we go.
So take a look at that.
All right, Coach, what's some of the big takeaways? We mentioned third downs at the half. Looks like that didn't really improve much.
Yeah, you always look at third downs. Those are big stats in games. You look at turnovers. Cedar Hill had 2 turnovers. Katy had none. That's a big thing. Katy ran the ball well and controlled the game, controlled the clock. They had 298 yards rushing, and a wow stat is the passing yards for Cedar Hill is 12. Wow. I did not expect that.
That's
got to be wrong because that doesn't add up. That's wrong. We got a typo there. That's not
wrong. I mean, from Katy Salters, the Tennessee commit, 4-star from Rivals to 12 yards. That Katy's defense.
Yeah, that's a testament to Katy High School and what they do. This is a Katy blueprint. You put these stats up, and this is what Katy does to a lot of people.
Right, and the thing that jumps out to me, 11 more minutes controlling the ball.
Yeah.
Just grinding the game away and really, exerting your will on the opponent. And Katy just did such a great job in this game. And we've said it 1,000 times. It may not be the most flashy brand of football, but boy, is it effective. And they have done a great job and obviously did that today. So
in this world of tempo and high-octane offenses and fast, Katy still huddles.
Yeah.
They play with a tight end and a fullback.
Yeah.
They play football and they play physical football.
They still win state championships,
They win state championships, yes.
So a great job.
Defensive MVPs, Cal Varner. D-end with that interception return.
Big pick six.
Great play.
He earned it. Good-looking young man, too. Wow, he's got to be about 6'4".
He's a big guy.
He is.
According to Rivals, 6'4", 225.
Good eye, coach. Coach, my goodness.
That coach's eye. Wow. Yep. Well deserved.
And then
it's got to be one of the Davis brothers.
I would have to imagine. Will be the offensive MVP.
We're just waiting to see who it is.
The running back, yes.
Sure enough, is one of the Davis brothers.
It is the younger Davis brother. The youngest Davis brother, Seth Davis.
He's just a sophomore.
He's not 6'4", Coach.
No, he's not.
Just a sophomore. He's got a couple more years.
That's impressive.
Josh Cook talked a lot about it. He said the Davis brothers, it's kind of like a thunder and lightning-esque. 2 guys who mix it up a little bit. So, yeah, Seth Davis really making an impact, especially as a sophomore. And probably had his older brother it's the younger brother trying to beat the older brother. It's the literally in-house rivalry and competition. Yeah. You want to talk about being surrounded by competition.
Absolutely.
Right? Have an older brother who's on the same varsity team as you, playing the same position. We just always challenge each other to be better.
A lot of competitive days at that household.
I'm sure.
And like Carlos Lynn, great job, Coach. And
absolutely,
nothing to hold your head about. Cedar Hill did a great job getting here. Be a lot of good teams, a lot of good programs, and they can hold their head up.
Absolutely. And you have to imagine they're sitting there on the field watching, the trophy be presented to Katy and just, storing that away in their mind as fuel, saying, we need to get back here.
Tell us what that's like, Coach.
It's tough. No, it really is tough being right there. It really is. And, especially when you lose a heartbreaker like we did the second time around, it's tough to go through. It's tough to – and then you have a 4-hour drive home on the bus. That's tough.
At least Cedar Hill doesn't have that far to go.
They don't. They don't. But again, you still have to take that trophy home to your community, to your school, to your school district, and you hold your head up proud, and you got an opportunity to play for a state championship. You got the opportunity to play at AT&T Stadium, and it's hard to swallow initially, but after a little while, you realize that it was a great accomplishment for your program.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's like almost don't be sad that it's over, be glad that it happened. Type thing. Enjoy the journey because. Football, like you and Coach McDowell were talking about, football mirrors life a little bit. And life is all about the journey.
Absolutely.
And obviously, you want to come out on top. That's why you play the game.
Yeah. Some people say, would you rather lose early on and not get there or get there and lose? No, you always want to get there. 100 out of 100, you want to have that opportunity. Right. You want to have that experience, and you want to play. Absolutely.
All right, well, I think that about wraps it up here, Coach. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank
you. It was just an absolute pleasure.
Awesome.
So much fun. We'll be back again at 7 p.m. For South Lake Carroll and Austin Westlake, the 6A Division I State Championship. I'm David Francis, Scott Terrell, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Watch out for M Block next
Watch
year.
out.
We'll be back.
Coach James
We'll be back.
Williams, Porter Marshall.
And thanks for Coach McDowell Foster for joining us as well. Really appreciate that. Hope we'll see you guys later this evening. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.